Morning guys. I've been away for a while and the world seems to have gone a bit nuts. People jumping out of aeroplanes, losing their licenses. Just reminds me that, you know, this is just, for me, this is just a hobby. It's just a hobby, have fun, keep it safe. So in this movie, just wanted to, have you ever dreamt you could fly? Well, I did. And I've probably got a few people to thank for that. So come along and we'll have a chat.
Roll. All right, guys. So back flying, which is nice after a bit of a break. And as I said in the intro, yeah, the world's gone a bit nuts, but got to just treat this as a hobby, I guess. If I do pause, just remember I am flying an aeroplane. Got to keep my wits about me. Where did it all start for me? Growing up in Melbourne, my dad used to fly RC model aeroplanes, and I remember on my very first, was it a control line model, stick trainer I think they call it, from a guy named Dick Steele. When you're a 10-year-old boy, hearing a guy with a name like Dick Steele is quite funny actually. So we bought a stick trainer off Dick Steele. Remember it came in a little shopping bag, a couple of bits of balsa and an Enya 15 two-stroke motor or engine. A little bit of rain here. P's and P's are good. Floating along nicely. My iPad's gone flat. So yeah, bought a control line. I remember I built that on my bed, basically at home with Dad after work. When Dad was working, I was at school. I was about 10 years old. I remember one day I asked him for some paint and brought home one of those little tiny tins of Umbrol paint and a tiny little brush. I sat there and I sat there and I painted it with one of those little tiny brushes. My pride and joy, sat on the bed for ages. Then my brother and I went down the oval with Dad, holding the old D-cell batteries together to get it started. So we got it started and just to fly that around the oval. And if you ever heard a two-stroke motor back then with no muffler, round and round in circles. Then I moved on, I think I got an Enya 40 SS, something like 6.5 cc two-stroke, a big 10-6 propeller. Had that on a 44-gallon drum out the back of the service station in Porpunka that we ran, or Mum and Dad owned. And went from there, I guess. I built a Pilot QB40H, and then a Hustler, and my aero modelling career just never stopped since about 1989. So that's when I really loved aeroplanes. Joined the Air Force in 1989. Posted to Eastdale, which is just over there. Worked on HS-748 aircraft. Then I joined I taught myself how to fly radio control planes just out in the paddock. Back then you could pull up in a farmer's paddock, jump the fence, go for a quick fly. No one seemed to mind too much. Taught myself how to fly. Then I met a guy named Truck Turner, Gary Turner, GT. You know, mate, it's been a while if you're watching. He was a big influence. Took me under his wing. He actually got me a credit card, actually my first credit card. Try and order stuff from America. A Rossi 40 was my first purchase for a pylon engine. Then we upgraded to the Nelson 40. For those who know the Nelson 40, I had the second Nelson 40 in Australia, side exhaust, pylon model, which just blew away the field in sports pylon. But Gary Turner taught me basically if it doesn't look right, it's not right. Attention to detail, do everything right. That was both at work, he was my sergeant at work, but also with a model aeroplane. He had some of the best model aeroplanes presented. Very nice finish and all that sort of stuff. So he was a big influence on professionalism and my OCD kicking in, I guess. So thanks, GT. Also the Sale and District Aero Modelers Club, which are just up there. They're also in the RAF airspace. Those guys there, I was a member twice, with posting cycle in the Air Force. Just turn around here. Yeah, I was a member of Sale and District most of the 90s, 1990 to say 2000, 97 I think. And then I came back around 2000 to 2004. So fantastic model aircraft club at Sale and District Aero Modelers Club, or STADAC. And they're still going strong today. I've got some gear there actually I want to drop off soon. So Sale, then I moved up to Townsville. Some inspirational, some good guys up in Townsville. Laurie Prest, I know you watch Laurie, so thanks mate. We had some great time flying model aeroplanes with our friend Larry, who's sadly passed on. Thinking hot conditions in Townsville with humidity. A really good fun and a good bunch of blokes up there. Townsville, I came back to Sale. Somewhere along the line I went up to Richmond. I was at RAF Richmond Model Aero Club. Across to Perth, the guys over at Cam's RC, or Cam's Airfield down south of Perth. I flew there for a few years. Kenny Greaves. Kenny actually got me into turbine. A guy crashed an RC turbine jet. And I literally pulled the turbine out of the bin, which was bent and burnt. Gave it to Ken Greaves, and a few weeks later he gave me a nice shiny TJT 3000. And those who know me know that I persevered with that TJT 3000 for probably longer than I should have. With back then it was NiCads, using NiCad batteries. So, yeah, and Pete Easdown. Those blokes over there at Cam were a lot of help. Let's get away from these hills. At Perth, I moved on to Adelaide. I think I was a member at Constellation RC Club in Adelaide and the Barossa Valley. Stewie Radich out of Barossa and Bronte. Went for fun. A lot of events there at the Barossa Club. Jet fly, just social flying and having fun. So building those model aircraft are fantastic. And then I guess I built up my collection. It was always bigger, better, faster, which equates to more money. Had some really nice model aeroplanes. Also enjoyed the small stuff. The turning point for me was I went back at Sale, practicing on the Saturday for an air show on the Sunday, and I obliterated a Skymaster Skyhawk, a quarter scale one, 1 to 4.5. Obliterated it. Big explosion. The heat actually, Club had just done a new rabbit-proof fence, and the heat of the crash actually melted all 4 strands of wire instantly because they got tension on them. And I went home and thought, what do I do? Like, that big hole in the ground and a big hole in the budget. So I thought, I'm going to build a plane. So during that process, I bought a Jabiru, which is a bit like an ARF model, I guess. Just buy the thing and fly it. Get my training. Then I He jumped online and just looked at home-built aircraft. Discovered Zenith Aircraft Factory. It's amazing how things start to fall into place. We had a trip to America planned. We travelled around the Deep South. I actually got married in New York in Central Park. So we started there, travelled with some friends, Toby and Kelly. Then we went to Texas and drove around Texas for 3 weeks. Down south, airboats, alligators. Went to Elvis' house. As part of that, I went to Mexico, Missouri to the Zenith Aircraft Factory. Had a test flight with Roger Jubert, as you do. And it's interesting because they must do heaps of test flights. People like myself, tyre kickers, come in. And you never really know who's going to follow through, I guess. And I'm a bit of a doer. If I say I'm going to do something, I generally do it. So I went to the factory, checked it all out, fell in love with the Cruzer, which I'd seen online, went for flying the Cruzer. Now, where are we? Keep things in check here. Yeah, fell in love with the Cruzer. Then I met the guys, had a good talk to, I actually went to the Mount Vernon Midwest LSA Expo in Mount Vernon, Illinois, I think. Went there first, met Roger Jubert on his birthday. Really keen for a fly, but he said, come to the factory and we'll have a better fly than having, one fly in between 15 people at the air show. Had a good talk to Sebastian Hines. Very approachable guy, and he sat there. I felt like I was taking up all his time, just asking all the questions I could think of. And you see these guys on YouTube, and you're actually standing there with them having a chat. Went back to the factory the next day, I think, and Steve Opperlander, excuse the pronunciation, but Steve at Zenith, he showed us around. Roger took me for a fly and my wife for a fly, and I ordered a kit. So, yeah, ordered the kit. Part of the process, so moving on. That's enough about model airplanes. Got a bird out here. I'm at 3,000 feet. There's an eagle there. Part of the process, I guess, you got to put your blinkers on a bit for those that are about to build. A lot of negativity out there. If you want to do it, do it. Aim high, dream big, and just do it. Very rewarding. People inadvertently have digs, I guess. Generally people mean well. I had comments, I'm going to build an aeroplane. Oh, how long is that going to take you? 9 years? 18 months later, 2 years later it's flying. 18 months was finished. So you got to see past other people's agendas. Sound like a bit of a philosopher now, but that's what I found anyway. And just commit. Spend a bit of time, work your way through it. So, a big person for me to thank is Graham Griffiths. Right from the start, Graham was there to help me. We shared a hangar when I had my Jabiru. Always bounced ideas off Graham. Even as far as trying to work out, for those that are wondering, we're not actually going anywhere. I'm just sort of doing figure eights out here in the sky, getting air time on it, and having a chat to you guys. We're at 19 and a half hours I've flown so far, aiming for 25, then I can take passengers. So, yeah, Graham Griffiths, really good relationship we had there. We've still got. Yeah, good relationship right from the word go. When I got the kit, simple things like how do we get a 14-foot box that weighs 300 kilos or something off a trailer? So we managed that. And then COVID kicked in. Yeah, COVID kicked in, so I started building in my shed around March 19, which is when the world went crazy. So I had a few months in the shed by myself and basically got the wings built. Would have been good to have a second set of hands there to turn them over and things like that, and pull the rivets. The riveting seems like fun until you got 4,000 rivets to do. But that was all good. And then Graham helped me all the way through all my ideas. It's funny too, you bounce your ideas off people, and in your own mind or your heart, you know what you're going to do anyway. Like engine choice. Engine choice is the big one. You go online now, and it's almost bullying, to be honest, guys, with what goes on with engine choices. You know what? Get back. It's just a hobby. Whatever you're confident with, and whatever suits your mission, and whatever's in your country, whatever's up the road. Cost is another one. So yeah, make those decisions. Same as whether you paint the aircraft, or do you leave it all aluminium, cover it in vinyl. So yeah, you make your own decision and just sort of blanket out what everyone else tries to influence you with. But yeah, Graham, great help. He still helps me today, and he'll be my first passenger, no doubt. So yeah, guys, there's just a few people I wanted to thank. There's obviously others. My wife and my family. You got to make time, and now we're having a great time now with family time. Because you do spend a lot of time when you build the aeroplane, constantly thinking you might need a bit of rubber hose, or you might need some mats or some glue, or how am I going to do this? You make time for your family. The aeroplane's going to take up a lot of time, but it's really well worth it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I do have big news coming up soon. Going to start a new project, new build project. So I'll let you all on that very soon. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We get to 1,000 subscribers. Very close now. Once we tick over 1,000, I'll let you know what the next project is. Thanks for watching. Whee! See you later.